Good morning, everyone. I'm number 1, and I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk about one of my favorite topics today, bicycles, because they move me in more than just a physical way. I'm going to tell you 6 quick stories and a poem about how bikes make me feel. Happy. One of the best presents I've ever got was a brand new blue and white bike from my grandma. It has color balls in the spokes that make rattling noise when you ride, and a white basket in front. My little brother got one too, and we raced each other all around the neighborhood until we were out of breath and totally exhausted. Oh, speaking of my little brother, one of the funniest things I ever seen was when my little brother got off his bike, lost his balance, and fell off into a pond. He was soaking wet and covered in seaweed. He looked just like a little green monster. Uh-oh. If he finds out I put this embarrassing little story into my speech today, it's gonna kill me. So, shh, please don't tell him. Moving along, bike also make me healthy. This is very important to remember, especially for people living in the city who often spend too much time indoors, and it's even more important for growing little bodies like mine. Thanks to the City Council, there are hundreds of kilometers of bicycle paths around Taipei. One of the longest rides I ever done was when I rode on my own from Guangzhou to Danshui. I was puffing and panting and sweating and very tired by the time I got there. But the ice cream I ate after the long trip made me feel so much better. Unfortunately, bike had also made me feel very, very sad. Once, my grandmother was hit by a car while on her bike. She was hospitalized and had a number of operations. I strongly advise all of you to always wear a helmet, no matter how short the ride is. Safety first. Still, it's terribly important that everyone keeps running bicycles for the sake of a greener world. In comparison to car trips, a 7-kilometer bike ride keeps 7 kilograms of pollutants out of the air we breathe. Be part of the solution. Ride a bike to school or work. Finally, the bike industry of Taiwan makes me feel proud. Do you know that Taiwan has the second largest bike industry in the world? Do you know the Taiwanese company Giant is the world's largest bicycle manufacturer? Cool! Give yourself a pat on the back. You're part of the pedal power nation. To conclude, I will end with a poem. A bike makes me laugh, makes me cry. A bike brings fresh air and blue sky. While oil fuels war and gas prices soar, BP oil spills to this day kills. My answer is, ride, baby, ride. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 2. Today, I'm going to tell you one of my valuable lessons. Last Saturday, after my brother Mike and I had complained many times that our cell phones were out of fashion, Mom finally agreed to buy 2 new ones for us, under the conditions that we should have the cost and promised to take good care of them. So, we went to a cell phone store. Wow! What a varieties of new cell phones there are, we thought. After picking and choosing friend R, we selected 2 expensive new models. Then, my mother filled out some forms to let me transfer to the same mobile network as hers. And hence, I received a new SIM card too. That dawn, we joined Dad in the car. Dad took a glance at our new cell phones and looked surprised. These models are expensive. What did they do to deserve them? Mom said, nothing. It's just because they beg it again and again. This is not good. It will give them the wrong idea. They will think anything valuable can be obtained just by begging, not by their own efforts. Mom felt frustrated. All she could do was to yell at us when she saw both Mike and me put some accessories, including the SIM card, on the back seat. Put everything back into the bag! I have told you many times small parts can be easily lost. Can't you wait until we're back home? We made faces at each other and reluctantly followed her order. As soon as we went back home, I took out everything in the bag and soon found that my SIM card was missing. I looked here and there. It just disappeared. Mom was angry, she said. It must be in the car. I have told you never to take out small parts in the car. Dad and I went back to the car. We looked everywhere in the car. We even turned over the carpet. But the car was just gone. When we went back home empty-handed, Mom was even angrier. You promised to take good care of your new cell phone, but you lost your SIM card on the first day. Now that you can't keep your words, I'll break mine. You'll pay the whole price yourself. I started to cry. Dad comforted me. Don't cry. Let's make things clear. I know you put the card into the bag. Did it fall over anywhere? No. Is there anything else in the bag? No. Except Mike's box. Dad said maybe the card is stuck on his box. We went to my brother's room and made him spread everything on his table. Dad took up the empty box, looked at it carefully, then smiled. See, our problem resolved. Dad handed me the box, and I saw that the tiny card was caught in a narrow opening in the bottom. Later, Dad asked me, have you learned a lesson? Yes, tell me. I replied, don't play with small things in the car. No, that's not the point. Think again. I thought for another while, then answered, when facing a crisis, don't panic, keep calm, and use your wisdom. Dad nodded, and both of us smiled. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, everyone. I am number 3. Today, I will tell everybody a story about go to the beach. That summer vacation, I went to Fei Beach with my family. It took us 1 hour to the beach by car. When we reached the destination, it was a big sunny day. I saw many sailing boats on the beautiful, huge blue sea. There were many toy rats playing by the sea. When my father stopped the car, my younger sister and I ran fast to the beach. We made a big castle with a pail and a shovel. I made a deep gap around the castle because I didn't want my castle to be washed away by the sea. My mother didn't like the big sunshine, so she sat under a big umbrella. My father liked water activities. He was in the water for a long time. There were some people I saw one of the new marriages took pictures on the beach. The breeze blew the bride's hair. She was so beautiful. There were some people having the beach volleyball competition. They were so skillful that watching them made me excited. I also picked many shells. I liked the conches best because they had a special shape. There were some people surfing on the sea. The way they slide through the waves were really amazing. We had a picnic there. I ate hamburgers, salad, sandwiches, and some orange juice. I like it very much. This trip filling my heart with happiness and joy, excited and happy. Because I enjoy swimming in the sea and play sand in the hot day a lot. My family played together until the sun set. It was a wonderful memory. I hope we can go there again. Thank you, everybody.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 4. Today, I would like to share a story with you, and its topic is an earthquake. One night, in the very middle of the night, I woke up and felt a strange rumbling. The thing started to shake a bit. One book on the bookshelf was falling on the floor. Woof, woof! My dog started to run in my room and bark at me, just like he wanted to say something very important to me. At first, I didn't realize the reason for the falling book and my dog was the earthquake. I still lay in bed and I wanted to have a beautiful dream. But next minute, bam, 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 all the books started to fall down on the floor. Woof, woof, woof! My dog started to run here and there in my room and barked. Then I felt my bed shaking. I finally understood it was an earthquake. Oh my God, it's an earthquake! I talked to myself. I was so scared to death and I didn't know what to do. The house was shaking so bad I couldn't even walk. When the shaking became bigger and bigger, I was really afraid that I would be hit by the falling book. I wanted to tell my parents and help them to run out, so I quickly ran to my parents' room and shouted, "Mommy! Daddy! Mommy! Daddy! Where are you? It's an earthquake! Let's get out of here! Hurry up!" I shouted out again and again, but they didn't answer me. "Quickly, or you'll be dead in an earthquake!" But nobody answered me. It was silent. What I could hear was only the sound of the shaking window and the sound of the broken glass. It looked like everyone in my family has already run out, but they all forgot me. They forgot to come to my room. They forgot to help me and save me. They just ran away. How could they do this? I ran into the living room, then the lights went out. I didn't know what to do, so I just stood in the living room and started to cry. I was so sad I cried louder and louder. "Mommy! Daddy! Where are you?" "Wake up, sweetheart. You are having a nightmare. Mommy and Daddy are here." My mom and dad talked to me and tried to wake me up. I opened my eyes and saw my mommy and daddy looking at me gently. I understood that the earthquake wasn't true. I gave my mommy and daddy a very big hug because I was so scared I wouldn't see them anymore. Luckily, I finally woke up and I was so glad that everything was only a dream. That's the end of my story. Do you have this kind of experience? Maybe you can share with me. Thanks for listening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 5. I'm glad to be here to participate in a competition again. Today, my topic is to challenge the best of me. Last September, it was my honor to represent my school to participate in this English speech contest. Although I worked hard to practice for this competition, but my final result was disappointing. It was such a pity that I failed to win an honor for my school. My parents and teachers were encouraging me, but I was still so sad that my tears were rolling down my face. However, I told myself that I I couldn't be sad anymore and couldn't be discouraged by frustration. I adjusted my attitude and told myself that I will not allow myself to make any mistakes in the future. Also, I promised myself that I will return to this speech contest. This year, when this English language competition was open for application, I have no doubt but apply right away. This time, my goal is to aim for the first place. To prepare for my speech, I took out the DVD that was the record of last year's contest. Then, I carefully observed all the opponent's strong points and analyzed my weakness. As a result, there are 6 things that I think I need to improve this time. First of all, I should improve my intonation and pronunciation, especially vowels and rhymes. Last year, I paid too much attention memorizing my speech, so I failed to make better pronunciation. Another depressing situation was that because I had got a cold before the contest and it made the situation worse, as each went on, I got more and more nervous and it became very difficult for me to deliver my speech. Second of all, as to the delivery of the content, this time I should use my own experience as the theme of my speech. This way, I can fully express myself and also strengthen the direction of my speech. Third of all, in terms of stage performance, this time I should be more relaxed, as well as keep my eyes focused on the audience. I like to learn and I'm also willing to accept challenges. From my experience, I have learned that to make progress is to learn from my own mistakes. And I've also realized that sometimes, no matter how hard I try, there's always a bigger fish in the sea. My life matures as I go through the process. When the challenge is presented upon me, I will not easily give in. I will not underestimate my own potential, and I will do my best. Although failures may occur along the way, I will learn from failures to make my improvements and face new challenges again. It is the reason why I'm standing up here now, to better myself and challenge the best of me. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a good day.
Hello everybody, I'm number 6. I'm going to talk things I like and dislike about school. School is a place I have to go to 5 days a week, except on Saturdays, Sundays, and the holidays. I spend a lot of time in school. Thus, I cannot help liking some aspect and disliking other aspect of it. I like recess most of all. The relief of consuming the food and drinks at the talk shop is really satisfying. What's more, my friends are always there to provide great company. We get on and talk about nothing in particular. It is great to be among those you know well. Some teachers have a knack of making their lessons interesting, so it is pleasant to learn something. These teachers is really to take the trouble to teach us, and we appreciate them very much. Physical education is one lesson I like. Here, we can play around with each other. Our PE teacher is a young man who knows many types of games and sports, so we have one time learning from him. Unfortunately, we only see him twice a week. This is really insufficient for each station only lasts about 40 minutes, minus time needed to reach the field. The week before annual school, sports day is what I like too. Usually a week before the sports, school are very busy preparing for it. Lessons are disruptive, and we have great time talking in class. Sometimes we are asked and help a bit. I like that too. I like the bell when it signals the end of the day. Immediately, flagging spirits give way to laughter as we head home. The atmosphere is happy when we go home. When examination approaches, it is time of war. I forewarn this examination. It is not that I am afraid that I might fail. I usually pass anyway. It is the tensions and stress of waiting the examination of waiting the examination. They are so unpleasant. During the time prior to examination, no one has time to chat anymore. Everyone is so focused on his or her work. This is time of gloom. However, gloom disappears like magic the moment the examination are over. This is best time of school. The tension is gone and lessons are virtually non-existent. Normally, it is also the end of the term and the holidays are around the corner. As we wait gleefully for the holidays, I feel joy, so that we may get to do the things we want to do. Holidays are great, but they never stand to last. Soon, it is time to once again to go back to school, back to the things I like and dislike. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, dear judges and students. I am number 7. My topic today is something I like to call the sibling love. Last year, I read a book and also watched the movie My Sister's Keeper. This story is about the differences between two sisters. A leading character, Anna, was born as a life keeper for her elder sister. But she wanted to be herself, free and independent. She did not want to be tied down to her sister. This is also what I truly feel as well. Birth order should not be so important. Siblings are born equal. As I get older, I can still make the effort to be treated equal to my brother in the eyes of my parents. But I don't want to copy everything he has done and be just like him. My brother and I have grown up together. We spent a great deal of our childhood arguing, disagreeing. Sometimes I feel that my birth broke my brother's dream of having a baby brother. He needed to understand the 7-year gap to his little sister will be a part of his life, whether he liked it or not. I never had a choice either to have an older sister or a brother, but this is the beauty of life. My brother and I have competed for parental attention, love, and approval all the time. For example, we had to go to school together to save time and money. It was a pain in the neck when I was late because he couldn't get up on time. Fighting, arguing, and yelling happened almost every morning. And to top it all off, I would be the one to get blamed because of my whining and frustration. These tough times that really helps our friends share, compromise, and love each other. Best of all, we do have common interests. We trust each other with secrets that our parents don't know about. We laugh and enjoy movies like Harry Potter in theaters. He helps explain some of Einstein's for me. I think he's a living dictionary. He is also my idol because I look up to him in many ways. I'm proud to have a brother who is good at violin, drums, badminton, swimming, running, and more. His public speaking skills are excellent, and I worked very hard to be good at it too. With his help, I did not feel shy or nervous, and I stand here before you at this contest to tell you how lucky I am to have a brother who is always there for me when I need him. In the past 11 years, I have learned about the special connection between brothers and sisters. Life is not perfect, and our relationship will not be either. But I know how important we are to one another. As my mother once said, I was born to be a companion for my brother. The older we get, the
the love between us grows even more. I am happy to share these experiences and encourage you to appreciate the sibling relationships that you may also have. I appreciate the attention you have given today, and thank you very much.
Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am number 8. It is said that he that forgives gains the victory. And there's an old saying, forgiveness from the heart is better than a box of gold. Everyone must have the experience of forgiving or being forgiven in their lives. And I am no exception. Today, it is my honor to be here to share the experience of forgiveness in my life with you. When I was a little girl in kindergarten, I liked to dress up for myself. I always thought that I was a princess, and I loved all the beautiful things in the whole world. One day, I found a gorgeous pin in my mother's drawer. The pin was dazzling with lots of crystal on it. And I thought it might be a good idea to have it on my shirt. I wanted to show off the pin to my classmates. Therefore, I decided to take it without asking my mom's permission. The next day, all my classmates told me how beautiful the pin was, and I was so happy. I had the pin on my shirt all day, and when we were going home on the school bus, I found that the pin was no longer there on my shirt. It was gone. Suddenly, I felt like it was the end of the road. At dinner time, Mom sensed there was something wrong with me. She asked me if I wanted to talk. My tears went down as I told her about the pin. And Mom cried too. She said she didn't cry for the pin. She cried because she didn't want her little girl to be like this. I felt so ashamed of myself, and I begged her to forgive me. And Mom said, I'll forgive you because I love you. Never, never break my heart again, okay? I held Mom tight and I promised to be a good girl forever. From then on, I tried my best to be a good girl and not to disappoint my mother. I am very grateful to my mother because she forgave me, and which made me realize the meaning of forgiving people. I've learned the lesson that forgive many things in others, nothing in yourself. Thank you for your listening.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 9. Today, I want to talk about growing pains. Like most teenage girls, I have my own secrets. The changes of my bodies, my emotions, and the stress of our school curriculums all bothers me. I know it's better to talk to my parents and teachers. Yet, sometimes I just don't want to talk to anybody but my diary. I often do things that doesn't make sense to myself these days. And that is why I call these problems growing pains. When we were in grade 4, our teachers told us about physical changes that would happen once we reach puberty. At that time, some boys were quite naughty. They teased girls about these physical changes. That made me angry. How could I laugh about something that's perfectly natural? However, as our teacher said, growing up also means that one will become more sensible and responsible mentally. That's so true. Now I can ignore those childish behaviors and laugh about it.
since these years are so important for my body and mind. Mom told me that I should pay more attention to my diet and exercise. Mom also said that I will feel a little bit uncomfortable during a certain time of the month. As long as I keep away from ice creams and have good sanitary habits, I'll be fine. I do what Mom suggests. Eat well, get enough sleep, and exercise more. One day, when I looked in the mirror, I couldn't believe what I saw. Oh no! I had 1, 2, 3 pimples right on my face. They were not there yesterday. I was so shocked and asked for my mom's help. She tried to comfort me and told me not to worry too much about it. If I keep my face clean, they'll go away soon. Still, some physical changes are hard to take. Other than physical changes, there are mood things I have to deal with. As much as I love my parents, sometimes they don't get me. Instead, I'd rather share my emotions with my friends at school. We laugh about some silly stuff together, like which girls have the crush on the boy. When someone gets good grades, we'll all share the happiness and vice versa. Mathematics has always been my weakness. Whenever I studied, I felt sleepy and bored. My friend would try to help me with it too. We chat and argue about everything and nothing. We're more like sisters than friends. Adolescents or not, the pressure from study has always been there. The only difference is now I seem to have less time for more schoolwork. Most girls I know are very good at their studies. I try not to be so competitive. But sometimes I'm afraid if I don't work harder, I'll be left behind. Is that the mood swings of the puberty? However, I believe as a sow, so will you reap. That is what teachers always tell us. They said adolescence is a tough time for both parents and teenagers. In most cases, that's true. Luckily, my parents are very open and I know when they'll always be there for me. Yes, there are growing pains, but hey, no pain, no gain, isn't it? Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm number 10. Today, I want to share my alternative way of learning. When I was 5, my older brother, Sean and I watched cartoons every day. Whenever we heard the theme song, totemo daisuki, Doraemon, we started singing and dancing. Since then, Doraemon has become my favorite cartoon character. But my learning with Doraemon really started 3 years ago. Sean came home and shouted, "Sydney, look what I've got, a Doraemon magnet." Cool, but where is Doraemon? It's Sydney Opera House in Australia. My opera house? Great! Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree. Mary, Mary, king of the bushes, see. Hey, imagine! I was singing at Sydney Opera House. Then, I made up my mind that I'd never ever change my English name because my name is on that famous building. While collecting the magnets, Sean and I look up encyclopedias and websites for more information. So other than Australia, many well-known landmarks were also shown, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, the pyramids in Egypt, the Statue of Liberty in the United States, and the National Palace Museum in Taiwan. One day, I was watching a Doraemon movie. He was fighting against some bad guys who wanted to destroy the animal habitats and caught endangered animals for profit. Meanwhile, I just got my magnet of South Pole. Thinking about the movie and looking at Doraemon's happy face, I told myself that saving wildlife animals and conserving the natural resources were my future missions. One day, the Little Mermaid was also on Denmark's magnet. My strong curiosity motivated me to to find out more about Denmark and the statue. I was impressed that Danish used to celebrate Little Mermaids per day by having 100 young ladies jumping into Copenhagen Harbor. That was awesome! And the funniest thing was that the statue of Little Mermaid seemed young and beautiful, but she's actually older than my grandma. Surprisingly, I learned that the statue just had her first trip abroad because she was demonstrated at 2010 Shanghai Expo. In short, Doraemon is not just a cartoon. Many of his stories are comedies with moral lessons and values such as courage, family, and respect for elders. Some important environmental issues like global warming, endangered species, and pollution are also mentioned. No wonder Doraemon was chosen as an Asian hero by Time Asia magazine. Since I was little, Doraemon always inspires me up with his stories. Learning through Doraemon has broadened my global perspective, enriched the beauty and wonder of each culture. My creativity, scientific innovation, and environmental awareness were also enhanced by him. I truly cherish my alternative way of learning with Doraemon. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 11. My speech today is, if I had 3 wishes, if I had 3 wishes. Please imagine that you're on a beach. There's a gentle breeze coming off the ocean. When you look down, you see a golden lamp. Pick it up and then rub it more. A genie appears. He'll give you 3 wishes. What would you do with the 3 wishes? Would you wish for a beautiful house, a lot of money, or a perfect life partner? Let me tell you how I would spend my 3 wishes. My first wish is for the health of my family and friends. My family and friends are the most important people to me. They're my foundation and my support. I always appreciate my family and cherish my friends. Without them, I cannot do anything. Without them, life is meaningless. So, my first wish is go to them. Second, I would wish for the health of the earth. There's a lot of pollution in the world which makes our planet sick. Trees are being cut down, rivers and seas are being polluted. Even the air we breathe is dirty. We only have one planet to live in. I hope that I can turn things around and stop pollution. So, my second wish would be for the earth. Finally, I would wish for world peace. Some people in some countries are fighting. Some people are losing their lives. I think people always have different thoughts, but we need to solve them peacefully, or this world will be destroyed. We need to understand one another and respect one another. If we could love one another more, this world would be a better place to live in. So, my final wish would be for world peace. Having the 3 wishes would be wonderful. However, I think it only exists in the fairy tale. There are no genies, there are no magic lamps. I cannot rely on wishful thinking. We all need to thank our parents and friends for loving us. Thank them for what they've done for us. I believe we have the strength to change this world and we have the power to reduce pollution. World peace is not a mission impossible. People always have different thoughts, but we need to solve them peacefully. We all need to do what we can do by ourselves to make our wishes come true. If you pick up a magic lamp, what would you wish for? Thank you for your attention. Wish you a wonderful day.
Hello everyone, I'm number 12. Today I'm going to talk about reduce, reuse and recycle. reduce, reuse, and recycle. With so many people living together on our planet, we have to produce huge numbers of goods and a wide selection of merchandise to satisfy everybody and maintain the quality of our life. However, when we produce goods, we damage the Earth's environment and impair the nature. It is therefore essential that people should be more intelligent in the way they use the world's resources. A good way to keep production lower is to make people understand the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. It is highly logical that gas production of merchandise will be possible when we reduce our consumption. When we go shopping with a bag, you will reduce the number of plastic bags. You can also reduce your consumption of electricity by always turning off lights when you don't use them. If you take a bus, a train, or the MRT, instead of driving a car or steering any vehicles, you will absolutely reduce the amount of pollution you emit. Reusing what you originally have well also results in less production. A container used for a drink can be reused hundreds of times. Sponges can be reused to clean the house instead of paper towels that get thrown away. Rechargeable batteries should always be used many times instead of the batteries that are only used once. If we do so practically, we could avoid them from being thrown away to leak chemicals into the earth. Recycling means turning waste objects into new products. Important materials such as paper, glass, plastic, and aluminum can easily be converted, so we don't need to consume more of the earth's resources. Take aluminum for example. Aluminum cans are the most recyclable materials. Around 75 to 80% of aluminum cans can be recycled. The recycled aluminum cans can be made goods as aluminum made from freshly mined bauxite. In many countries around the world, it is common for people to separate and sort their trash, so that after it has been collected, it is easy to convert. When we recycle things, today's newspaper may become tomorrow's shoe boxes, and old aluminum drink cans can be made into new ones. However, recycling is not an actual way to reduce the quantity of waste produced, since the recycled materials and items are finally going into the waste stream. The only solution to solving the problem from its root is to reduce the quantity consumed and the material used in production. Therefore, we as consumers can reduce the amount consumed, reuse the containers in the possible and safe way, and recycle them after use. Environmental protection is very important for you and for me and the entire race. If we want to heal the world and make it a better place, we have to all remember and start immediately to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. This is Back to the Future. I'm number 13. And now, just imagine a world where everyone is happy and healthy. Today, people live in crowded cities with pollution and a lot of stress. I believe the future can be more positive, natural, and healthy. But how? We must change ourselves and our environment. That way, our cities and transportation will be cleaner, our clothes will be more practical, and people will be much more kind. If you could wish for anything, what would you want? I think making better cities is the best solution. The government doesn't care about this that much, so we need to do more by ourselves. In the future, the houses will make themselves automatically, just like Transformers we've seen in the movie. So you can live and move like a snail, taking your house everywhere you go. Because the earth will be so polluted, we will have a big protective glass bubble around each city. so we won't be sick. People will be more friendly and will even build a stronger community bond. Isn't that fantastic? In the future, thanks to the telepathy, people will be smarter because they will be able to read each other's minds. If I want an apple, the person next to me will know that I want an apple. By knowing each other's thoughts and feelings, we will be able to help each other. Next, if we can know the language of animals, and we might see that animals are smarter than us. Probably, they will teach us many amazing things and share their opinions and ideas on the land where we live. Isn't that possible? What is the other simple way to make our future healthier, cooler, and even more fun? Right. Welcome to the future fashion! First of all, magic glasses won't rest on your face. They will fly in front of you. They can detect the weather and change colors automatically to protect your eyes and help you see much better. Secondly, everyone will wear a suit that can make you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Also, this suit will cleanse your body. Finally, I think in the future, we will wear jet-propelled shoes. That way, we can move very fast, even fly. Wow, it's perfect! If we are confident and creative, we can use ideas from the past to change and make a revolutionary future. The future will have a better road. I believe technology will improve our transportation, our homes, clothes, and the way we treat each other. Oh, time flies, so let's not wait. Together, we can do it. Thanks for your listening, and I wish you have a nice day.
Hello everyone, I'm number 14. My topic is the best place in the world. The best place I like in the world is Peru. It is in South America, and it's a very beautiful country. Almost every kind of people live there, especially Spanish people. We can go to markets, restaurants, and the beaches. We can see many beautiful places. Almost every place is made from the Incas. I think that the Incas were great builders because all of the houses and mazes that they built were so beautiful. The stones that the houses were made of were all the same size. So when you look at their houses and things that they built, they look more than a plain building, but a piece of art. Also, I really recommend people to go to see the Titicaca Lake because it's really an enormous and beautiful lake. On the lake, native people live there. Native people uses a kind of plant and makes a thick layer of it so they can build houses on top of the plant. The plant floats on top of the water, so the houses looks like it's floating on water. In the summer, we can see the dancers dancing on the street. The clothes they wear are very different and strange. Sometimes we can see the dancers dressed like animals. When we are looking at the dance, we can hear the sound of many different instruments. The instruments include flute, saxophone, trumpet, drums, and more. My favorite one is the flute because I think it makes a beautiful sound. In Peru, we can breathe lots of fresh air because there are many plants and mountains. Peru is not polluted at all. There are tons of beautiful trees and mountains that makes the air fresh and clean to breathe. So we can also eat many natural foods there. When we are eating the foods, we can usually smell many kinds of spices. The spices taste very weird, but some people love the taste. I would like to go there in the summer because we can see the dance and there will be no rain. The reason why this is the best place in the world is
because there are many historical sites there. And the scenery is so beautiful. When I was in Peru, I felt like I was dreaming because the scenery there made me feel like an ancient woman. That is a wonderful place. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 15. Today, my topic is a letter to the cockroach. If someone asks for the most disgusting thing in the world, my reply definitely will be a cockroach. As before, it only appeared in public places, but now it dares to show up in my house and makes me unable to concentrate my studies. I had a dream last night. In the dream, I invented a super translator through which each word of my letter was transmitted to the cockroach. Below is what I wrote to the cockroach. How are you, Mr. Cockroach? I would like to inform you that this letter is meant to threaten you. After you read it, you might be so frightened that your face will turn pale, and all you want to do is to run away. As you can run and hide everywhere, it's almost impossible to kill you. No matter how dangerous the situation is, you can always manage to escape. So I like to call you Little Mr. Strong. You're really amazing. To tell you the truth, I don't like you at all, not even a little bit. I've been spending lots of time thinking about when and where you'll show up. As for my brother, he also keeps work all the time, looking around the house, trying hard to track you down. As a result, we sacrifice our sleeping time, stay up late to do our homework, and thus we turn weaker and weaker. On the other hand, Papa and Mama also have been racking their brains every day, trying hard to find ways to take care of you, and now they're becoming a little bit neurotic. With all the harm you've done to us, I must say that you are truly the devil from hell. However, you better watch out now since the situation has changed. We set up a lot of traps everywhere. As long as you step into one of them, then you will be beheaded. Seeing our traps, you certainly will tremble with fear. Therefore, I believe that the best policy for you is to run as early as you can. Little Mr. Strong, I really cannot help but hate you and like you at the same time. I hate you because it makes me so focused on finding ways to deal with you that I tend to forget about everything. I like you because you never give up and keep fighting for life. You're really something. At this moment, you might be lying crossly in some corner and happily murmuring, "What can you do with me? Ha ha ha!" Though this is just a dream, I deeply hope that the cockroach will hear what I say and be smart enough to stay far, far away from me. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, dear judges, teachers, boys, and girls. I'm number 16. I'm very proud of being here to share with you my experience on how to overcome my test anxiety. Listen to this.
Judy, go study!
Mom yelled at me right after dinner. But it's Friday night, Mom. Can I have a break, please? I asked. Again?
No way!
You have a very important test next Monday, don't you? If you can't pass it, let's wait and see, she said coldly. Passing it means getting the score of 90 or above on a 100 scale in her language. Similar situations may happen to many of us quite often. Am I right? Test, test, test! There are so many tests on you and me. For students in Taiwan, I hate tests. They always make me crazy. I can still remember last night before the test. I couldn't eat, study, and even sleep well as usual. I feel much worried and nervous. I didn't know why, but I just couldn't help being that way. Those problems bother me a lot, such as the questions on the test may be too difficult to answer. I can't be the top 5 of my class this time. For the worst, I may fall into the bottom 5 of my class. Oh my! After I told my teachers about the trouble I have suffered, he said to me, "That is what we call test anxiety. It's normal to everyone. Taking tests is part of students' life, and you have to train yourself to overcome it." He gave me some tips I have tried and found they work. Here is what I have gone through. Before the test, you must trust yourself. You can do it. Always look on the bright side, even if the time is very tight. You are not alone. Many others are facing the same problems like you. Make a good study plan and stick to it, and you won't miss it. Don't stay up late at night. Getting plenty of sleep, and it will help you study well next day. During the test, go to the easiest one first, then the second easiest one. Leave the most difficult to the last. If you feel nervous at the time, take a deep breath. It will help you relax a bit. After the test, ask yourself what you have done for the test, not what the test has done for you. It's not a doomsday if you fail. There are many tests are waiting for you. Get ready for the next one in time and be well prepared. Keep in mind, the test can't make you anxious. Only you can make you anxious. So don't worry, be happy. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 17. Today, I'm going to tell you about my worst nightmare. Everyone all had an experience of having a nightmare that would remain on his or her mind for a long time. I once had such a horrible nightmare that even up to today, I can still recall what happened in that dream. It was a cloudy day, and I was really bored, so I turned on the television to cheer myself up. Suddenly, a voice came from outside of the window. I looked out and saw a boy playing by himself. The creepy thing about that was the boy had no legs! I rubbed my eyes to check if I was hallucinating, but I wasn't. Unexpectedly, he turned his head and looked at me straight in the eyes, so I quickly hid behind the sofa. I checked for the second time, but this time, I could only secretly peek at him from behind the sofa. And within a second, he vanished. The moment he disappeared, I saw all my belongings floating in midair. And after I blinked, everything fell onto the ground. I knew something wasn't right, so I ran to my parents. When I got to my parents, I started to hear babies crying. I began to search for the source of the noises and ended up finding out that all my family had transformed into little babies. I used my cell phone to call everyone on my contact list. I've been called 119, but not a single person answered the phone. I was alone and frightened. I knew something had to do with the boy as seen earlier, so I decided to go find him. I searched everywhere, but I still did not see a sign of him. I used all my knowledge, and suddenly, I remembered that he was a ghost. So one of the possibilities was that he would be in the graveyard. And there were only 3 graveyards near my house. So I decided to go check on them first. I first went to the closest graveyard, and a lady ghost showed up. She showed me around the graveyard, but I still couldn't find the little boy. Next, after we separated, I went to the graveyard behind the mountain, and the ghost of a general cave. I asked if he saw a little boy, but he shook his head. The general ghost thought I was in trouble, so he decided to call the Air Force to find the little boy. At last, they found out that his name was Timothy. He lived in the graveyard 10 blocks away from here. So we said goodbye, and I continued my trip to find Timothy. After I got there, I finally saw Timothy, who was playing with himself again in the graveyard. And this time, I got a close look at him. He was very tall, melancholy, and also had a hunchback. I felt very bad for him, so I decided to risk my life to accompany him. He was very shocked when he saw me, but we ended up having a good time. The fun shortly ended when he surprisingly roared at me and transformed into a monster. He tried to eat me, so I began to run like a cheetah. While running, I accidentally tripped over a broken tree trunk on the ground. I could feel the monster coming closer, but I was too scared to get back up, so I started screaming. That's when I woke up from my dream. I found myself soaked with sweat. It was a horrible nightmare, and I wish I had never dreamt about it. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, honorable judges and fellow students. I'm number 18. It's nice to be here with you today. Have you noticed the unusual weather changes in recent years? Several record-breaking natural disasters have happened throughout the world. Hurricane Katrina that hit the USA in 2005. Heavy droughts and the worst snowstorm struck China in 2008. The hottest day in Australia and the warmest year in England. Typhoon Morakot that heavily flooded southern Taiwan in 2009. These natural disasters have caused severe damages of multi-million dollars and hundreds of human lives. Aren't they telling us that there is something wrong with our words? Over the past century, human beings have been creating greenhouse gases from various factories, power plants, traffic vehicles, air cons, garbage processing, and cutting down forests. So much that's more than their Mother Nature could handle. Therefore, leaving us with polluted air and a hotter earth. Scientists believe that this is one of the major causes of the extreme weather. Our loss will not only be the money and human lives. There will be loss of drinkable water, of agricultural farmlands, of living space, also loss of animal and plant species, and loss of the peace in our mind, knowing that we are living in a safe place. So how can we make things right? First, recycle. Recycle metal, plastic, organic garbage, and paper. Through recycling, we will reduce the volume of garbage to be processed. We may even save a forest by recycling paper. Second, let's get back to a more natural lifestyle. Walking, biking, taking public transportation instead of driving cars or riding motorcycles. Third, limit the use of air conditioning. Help cut down the detrimental gas release. The earth is the only place we call home. We want to use every resource wisely and carefully. As Neil Armstrong once said, there is no other planet like this beautiful blue globe. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 19. I'm delighted to stand right here and share my special experience with you. Here it is, the tricycle in the rain. The tricycle in the rain. One beautiful Saturday morning,
I woke up with a smile as the light shining through the window and touching my face. I was very excited about the upcoming trip to Xinwu Flower Garden in Taoyuan. I was about to stretch out when I heard my dad yelling from the living room. "We're running out of time. You better hurry up." Well, there goes to my daily morning routine of stretching out and lying in bed waiting for my senses to come back to me. I was forced to hustle, wash, and finish half of my breakfast because my dad was anxious and ready to go. The drive to the destination wasn't smooth at all. It shouldn't have taken more than an hour to get there, but it did. It took us 2.5 hours. Thanks to my lack of sense of direction father, he took the wrong way. Thank God, finally we got there. When I was walking into the garden, I was thrilled to see all the beautiful flowers swinging in the wind as if they were saying welcome to us. Among all those pretty flowers, there is one attractive tricycle parked at a corner. How strange! An idea popped up in my mind. It would be cool to take the tricycle for a ride. When I asked my parents for permission, they said, "Why don't we all get on it?" Off we went. Dad and I were in charge of the pedals of the tricycle. We both tried our best to make the tricycle move forward and at the same time appreciating the beautiful sensories along the way. Mom and Auntie sat beside me, enjoying the delicious fruits they brought with them. Suddenly, it became very windy and started raining hard. The windshield of the tricycle couldn't protect us from getting wet. Dad had to hold an umbrella in front, and Mom and Auntie had to hold umbrellas on the sides. The whole tricycle must have looked so funny to others. Dad got really embarrassed because of all the attention we had from the people walking past us. Till this day, I can't help laughing when I think of my dad's funny face. As the hour passed, all of us became soaking wet. None of us cared about the pouring rain, but cherished the special moment instead. Thank you for listening, and I hope a stormy day will not stop you from enjoying whatever it is you are doing.
Good morning, dear judges and fellow students. I'm number 20. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a stone cutter. Long ago in Japan, there lived a stone cutter who every day went to work at the side of the mountain. He would use his chisel and his hammer to chop off big slabs of rock, which he would sell to the market for tombstone or to build houses. The stone cutter was very happy with his work, and he never dreamed of anything more. But one day, the stone cutter delivered some stone to the house of a very rich man. There he saw beautiful things which he never dreamed of before. The next day, his work seemed much harder. He thought to himself, "If only I were a rich man." His wish was heard by the spirit who lived in the mountain. And that evening, when the stone cutter returned from his work, instead of finding his modest little hut, he found a beautiful palace. He slept that night in a huge bed with a golden canopy. And when he woke in the morning, a servant brought his breakfast in bed. As he was eating, he looked out the window and noticed a procession going by. There was the king, being carried through the town by his servants and soldiers. He thought to himself, "If only I were the king." His wish was heard by the mountain spirit, who instantly turned him into the king. He was now the most powerful man in the land. He was very happy until one day, as he was walking in the royal garden, he noticed all his flowers have been scorched by the sun. "No matter how much I take care of these flowers, the sun is always burning them. If only I were the sun." The mountain spirit heard him and turned him into the sun.
He could look out over the entire world. His blistering hot rays shone down on the earth. They dried our rivers and farmers' crops couldn't grow. Shone and shone. But one day, a cloud covered him. His rays could no longer get through to the earth. He thought, is it possible that a cloud is stronger than the sun? If only I were the cloud. The mountain spirit heard him, and he became a cloud. It rained and rained. Rivers flowed with water, and farmers' crops flourished. But the stonecutter was overcome by his new power. He continued to rain and rain and rain. Rivers flooded, and the whole village was washed away. Nothing was left except for the mountain. Is it possible that the mountain is stronger than the cloud? If only I were the mountain. The mountain spirit heard him, and he became a mountain. He was invincible to the sun's hot rays and clouds' rain. But one day, he heard a strange noise at his feet. He looked down to see what it could be. He saw a man raising his hammer and striking with his chisel. He felt a blow all throughout his body. A large slab of rock fell off, and a chill went through him as he realized the stonecutter was the strongest of all. That's my story today. Thanks for listening.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 21. Today, I'm going to talk about how we can make life better for the elderly. How we can make life better for the elderly. A lot of people want to help poor and sick people, but they forget about the elderly. The elderly want someone to help them too. They don't have parents or friends, so we should help them live lives with lots of love. First, we can play with the elderly. I went to play with them one time and I realized why they are so lonely. Their lives are very boring. When we make our elderly friends, we sing songs, make jokes and play some games with them. Guess how they felt? They feel excited and happy. I know we can make this good thing happen again. Second, we can give the elderly more love. When we see the elderly, we can give them a hug or a kiss. No one does it for them. If you never got a hug or a kiss, wouldn't you feel really sad? On holidays, we can tell stories to them and we can take them shopping. If they know someone take care of them, they will show their love more. Third, we can be nicer when we see the elderly walking on the streets. When we see the older person walking on the street, we have to help them and ask them where they want to go. We can take them there, or we can buy what they need and take it to their home. They can sit and rest while we help your life a little easier. This only takes a little time in your day, but for them, this really means a lot. Finally, we can take the elderly with us when we go on a trip to a new place. My grandparents always go on the vacation with our family. When I see my grandparents are so excited and all going on our trips, it made me feel happy. Sometimes it's difficult for the elderly to go out, but if we can take them outside more, they will feel they are young again. Some people think old people are not important, but one day, if you are old and no one will take care of you, what will you think? If you had an uncaring family and no friends, you will be very lonely. There is no reason why we should not help the elderly. Doing something small can make a big difference in another person's life. Now, take out your cell phone and tell your grandparents you love them. They will be very happy. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm number 22. Today, I'm going to talk about how to be a world-saving super kid. Mirror, mirror, on the wall, show me the year 2025. What do you see? Do you see mountains of garbage or mountains of trees?
Do you see smoggy gray air or clean fresh air? What about the water? Is it clean and is it enough for everyone to drink? Or is it full of garbage and chemicals? We are the future. What we do now can save our future world. People are living longer, which is not a bad thing, right? But this means there may be not enough water for everyone in the future. When you take a shower, don't just stand there and do nothing. Get clean and get out fast. And when you brush your teeth, don't leave the water running. Nothing can live without water, so think carefully when you are using it. We also cannot live without air. 4 minutes without oxygen, and your brain will start to die. You need to breathe fresh, clean air, not smelly brown air that makes you cough. We all know that cars create air pollution, but in Taipei, there are too many cars. Instead of getting a ride from your parents, you can take a bus or MRT, or leave a little earlier and walk. Finally, we need to talk about the garbage. There's a floating pile of garbage in the Pacific Ocean that is more than 20 times of Taiwan. That is crazy. Most of the garbage is plastic, which can take up to 450 years to break down. That means the garbage will be there long after we are all dead. The 3 things you can do now to stop the garbage from growing are also known as the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. First, and most important, is to reduce the amount of garbage we make. We can do this by reusing bags. At school, use both sides of paper before we recycle it. Our future can be full of trees, clean air, and fresh water, but only if we imagine it and make it happen. Remember, we are the future. I hope you remember this the next time you use a bag, watch TV, ride in a car, or brush your teeth. In these ways, we can all be world-saving super kids. See you in the great future.
Good morning, judges and fellow contestants. I'm number 23. Today, the topic of my speech is a trip to America. Last winter, my family and I visited 2 cities in the USA, Los Angeles and Las Vegas. I was so excited that I couldn't sleep well for days. It would be my first time to go to another country. Finally, the day came. After a long flight, we arrived at the airport in Los Angeles, California. We started our grand adventure right away. Our first 2 stops, Disneyland and Universal Studios, excited me and my brother a lot. At Disneyland, we met Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Snow White, and a lot of others whom I already knew from some Disney movies. And of course, the highlights of the theme parks were the rides. My favorite one was the Indiana Jones ride. It sure was fun to scream and be scared. At Universal Studios, I felt like a movie star when I took the amazing rides, such as the Star Wars rides and Jaws. They were fantastic. After leaving Los Angeles, our bus headed towards our last stop, Las Vegas. On the way, we stopped at the famous skywalk at the Grand Canyon. It took all our courage to step onto the glass bridge, 4,000 feet above the Colorado River. My brother and I even lay flat on our stomachs to get a better feel and view through the glass floor. Wow, that view was breathtaking. I felt like an eagle. I didn't realize until then that my little brother and I were so brave. Las Vegas was a different story. Once we arrived in the famous gambling city, The neon lights from the casino stung our eyes. My brother and I convinced our parents to let us stay in the hotel room by ourselves. However, some weird noises, like the knocking on the doors, footsteps here and there, kept us awake when the mom and dad came back. And then the toilet in the bathroom started flushing and flushing by itself. We were sure no one was there. Frightened and scared, we went to a lobby to request a room change. Strangely, the lady didn't ask anything and changed the room for us. Nothing unusual occurred in our second room, but none of us had slept well for the rest of the night. On the flight back home, before I fell into a deep sleep, I couldn't help thinking whether the toilet was out of order or some spirits were using it. Anyway, the experience made the trip even more unforgettable, and it was still wonderful. By the way, if you are curious about what hotel we stayed in Las Vegas and want to experience what we had, come to me and I'll tell you. Maybe you will meet some new friends. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Candy. I'm number 24. Today, I'm going to tell you my dream. I have always had a dream since I was a little girl. My dream is to be a superstar. Why do I dream to be a star? It's because I really love to sing and dance in front of people. I still remember my first time being on stage. My classmates and I had to dance in the school carnival. We had practiced the dance steps for several weeks. But when I stood on the stage, I was so nervous that I could hardly breathe. At the end of our performance, the audience clapped loudly. Strangely, I felt both relief and excited when I heard the applause. I think I started to enjoy the feeling since then. However, it's a pity that I don't have many chances to sing and dance in public. Oh, how I wish to be the one under the spotlight! It will be fantastic if my dream comes true. My favorite idol is a singer. Her name is Jolin Tsai. One of my favorite songs is When You Say Nothing at All. The touch of her hand says you catch me if ever I fall. You say that when you say nothing at all. But when she made her debut years ago, many producers didn't expect too much of her. They thought she was not good looking and not attractive. She didn't look like a pop idol. However, she wasn't discouraged. Instead, she takes those criticisms as her motivation to advance her career. She works very hard and does her best to improve herself. For example, she did not dance very well when she released her debut album. But after years of painstaking hard working, she is now a famous dancing queen. She even finished her college education and got a degree in English language and literature while pursuing her singing career. When we see the glamorous superstar Jolin Tsai on stage, few people realize the efforts she made and the pain she suffered. Her spirit and courage deeply move me. She's my role model. Everyone wants to pursue this goal and I'm no exception. Now I'm just a 6th grade student and my dream seems to be far beyond my reach. Nevertheless, I believe my dream will come true if I have confidence in myself and do everything with all I can. I want to learn singing and dancing in my spare time and enter singing competitions like video stuff when I grow up. Maybe I'll be another superstar someday. I hope
I will have the opportunity to shine on stage and everyone will be marveled at my performance. Right now, all I can do is try my best to learn and prepare myself to be a versatile entertainer like Jolene. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, judges, and my fellow contestants. I'm number 25. Today, the topic of my speech is my harvest. My harvest. Being an elementary school student nowadays, I have a lot of homework to do, and I should take some lessons after school every day. I really don't have much free time. But if I do have some, I always like to do something interesting. Computer games and reading storybooks are my usual activities in my free time. I always play computer games on Saturday and Sunday. Super Mario Brothers is a funny computer game. In this game, Peach the princess is Mario's girlfriend. She is captured by Bowser, the bad dragon. Mario must kill Bowser to save Peach the princess. He will experience many dangerous adventures. I like to play it very much, but Super Mario Brothers is not my first choice. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is my favorite computer game. In this game, I'm a very awesome robber. I must complete many missions in a short time. I need to rob cars in streets. I also buy and sell drugs to get money, so I can gang up a group of persons against another group of bad guys to protect our territory. There are many gunfights in this game. It is so violent and so bloody. My dad and mom don't allow me to play the game. I always play it with my dad and mom are not at home. To read Chinese books and English books is my another hobby. Harry Potter, Arsène Lupin, and The Call of the Wild are books in Chinese I have ever read. But Mandarin Daily News is my favorite. There are a lot of national, international, and local news in it. There are also little comics, science lesson, playlist stories, and many excellent literary essays in the newspaper. I read it every day. Recently, I also read an English book named Warriors. It describes the war among the 5 clans of cats: Thunder Clan, Shadow Clan, River Clan, Wind Clan, and Star Clan. They fight for food and land. They also fight for leadership. Blue Star, the leader of Thunder Clan, is the most important leader among the 5 clans. He has been assassinated by Yellowfang. Yellowfang is instigated by Redtail to do this. Redtail wants to be the leader of Thunder Clan. All stories and all battles begin from this event. There are many warrior cats die in the war. This book shows me a brutal world. I haven't finished reading it yet, but I like this wonderful storybook very much. I like reading. Reading is good for me because I can enjoy interesting stories and learn new things from it. I also like computer games. I really have a good time when I play computer games. I hope we all have some good habits to make ourselves happy and safe. That's all of my speech. Thank you for listening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 26. Today, I'm going to talk about hitting a jackpot, a blessing or a curse. Money, money, money. Must be funny, must be shiny in a rich man's world. Have you ever dreamed of hitting a jackpot? Do you believe the windfall will promise you a happy life ever after? Will a jackpot improve or complicate the relationship between you, your family, and your friends? Money talks. How I wish I could be lucky enough to hit the jackpot. Most of us believe it can help us solve problems and realize our dreams. For example, we children may want to use it to buy the latest PSP or a super powerful computer to play online games. Parents may want to use some of it to move into a bigger house and invest in the stock markets. Women may want to buy giant diamonds, and men for BMWs. And with that big sum of money,
Some may also want to take a long vacation and never bother to study or work hard again, because the money should be enough for the rest of their lives. But do you really think this windfall is only going to be a plus in your life, or is it possible to be a minus? How do we deal with a big surprise like this? Should we tell a family or friends that we've hit a jackpot? Do you think it's a good idea to be that frank with the people around you? What would be the consequences of such a confession? Perhaps it might put you in a difficult or even dangerous situation, because the outlaws may also learn about it and want a share of the pie. Furthermore, will this big sum of money lift up the quality of your life or drag it down? Will people still know the value and benefits of our work? Will they still learn to cherish things and appreciate the real value and meaning of life? However, maybe the issue is really not about the money itself. I think we should ask ourselves the following question instead. Are we ready for such an amount of money? Will we know how to use it intelligently? Do we have a perfect plan for this windfall? Wise people, it can be a good tool to enrich their physical and spiritual lives, rather than simply getting a temporary excitement. In addition to buying a house and paying off our mortgages, we can set up an education fund or trust fund too. We can also consult a reliable financial advisor to invest our money for yielding continuous benefits. Furthermore, I'd also suggest donating part of it to charities. Have you ever had the experience of sharing? Try doing this and also teach the youngsters to do it, and you'll experience a great joy and find your life even more fulfilling. Trust me, the more you share, the richer you'll become. Have you ever bought any lottery tickets? Do you also want to give it a shot? I wish you good luck, and especially, I wish that you have the wisdom to use your jackpot money wisely. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.
Hello everyone, I'm number 27. Today, my topic is Happy Fool's Day. Have you been tricked or played a joke on someone on April Fool's Day? Let me share with you about my experience. One year, on March 31st, I went to my best friend Alice's house for a sleepover. It started like an ordinary sleepover with TV, games, and lots of fun. But the next day, I woke up from a terrible scream and discovered Alice lying on her bed, short of tears as a beetle crawled on her arm. I looked around and saw threads strapped along the room. I touched one, a water ball dropped, and I was wet. I tried to figure out what was happening, glanced at the calendar, and what jumped to my eyes was April 1st. Today's April Fool's Day, I shouted. Alice, stop screaming. This must be a prank. I tried to free myself from the threads, but toys and water balls kept pouring down. I was dirty, but I didn't care. I only cared about who did that prank. I ran to Alice and got that beetle off her arm as quickly as lightning. We made our way out of the room and saw two brothers of Alice giggling over there. I was angry, and so was Alice. We did not think it was funny at all, and we decided to revenge. So we went to the supermarket and bought milk, flour, eggs, and butter, etc. On our way home, we could not help laughing, and Alice almost dropped the grocery. At exactly 12, the oven was opened. The door opened too. Alice's two brothers came in and said, "Oh, what a nice smell. Did you make that for us? How sweet you are. It's our cake, not yours." We pretended to be angry. They laughed out loud, grasped the cake, took one bite, and suddenly their facial expressions changed. "Oh, what a disgusting taste. It's so spicy, so sweet, and so salty." They spat the cake out right away. For 2 minutes, they just kept drinking water while Alice and I rolled on the floor with laughter. "Happy Fool's Day," we shouted out loud. So, what do you think about my experience on April Fool's Day? Of course it is good to do something fun, to bring happiness to people around you and yourself on this special day. But always remember to draw a line between fun and inappropriateness, because he who laughs last, laughs best. Thank you for your kind attention.
Good morning, dear judges, boys and girls. I'm number 28. Today, I would like to share with you my ideas about a more beautiful world. You must have heard this beautiful melody before. It's not just classical music, but also a sign that the garbage truck is coming. My family always sort the trash from the recyclables before the garbage truck comes every evening. Do you know how important it is to sort the trash? It can reduce tons of garbage if we all try our best to reuse and recycle it. Global warming is now the biggest environmental problem we have in the world today. How do you feel about this summer? It's very hot, isn't it? Over the past 10 years, our planet's temperature has risen by around 0.6 degrees Celsius. Weather reports and specialists worldwide have reminded us again and again that human beings should stop harming our Mother Nature due to the unstable climate changes and unpredictable disasters. They are so worried if people don't act now, the damage will be very difficult to repair. However, there are a few ways we can help to make our world better. Firstly, plant more trees. Trees, when fully grown, will help keep the planet cooler. They alter the environment in which we live by moderating climate, improving air quality, conserving water, and harboring wildlife. Planting trees protects our environment. We also feel peaceful and restful in a grove of trees. Secondly, save more energy. Walking or taking new mass transportation instead of driving cars will reduce pollution and save energy. More and more people are trying to use the energy-saving or solar products in their daily lives. As for me, I always turn off the lights or power when I leave the room at home or school. Thirdly, eat vegetables rather than meat. It can make you healthier and helps reduce the strain on our food resources. Meat products require more energy and resources to produce. I've saved the best for last. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce your needs for things. Reuse what you already have and recycle what you don't need anymore. Some eco-friendly groups even recycle the plastic balls to make blankets and send them to those who need them. It is such a beautiful world, isn't it? Here is one of my favorite songs, and I like to sing it for you. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Do you think we all can be the protectors of our planet? Of course we can. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm number 29. It's time to begin. I appreciate your being here. I hope everyone enjoys my speech. My speech is titled, How to Sell Yourself. The idea of selling yourself means how to present yourself in the best light. It's hard to promote yourself, but it's a necessary tool for career growth and a higher education. So, how do you do it? Here are some tips to make a process easier. Please listen and learn. Learn how to sell yourself. Most importantly,
Believe in yourself and look like a winner. Look like you're going to the top. You need to feel proud of your actions. Focus on building your confidence and being the person you want to be. Project your professional appearance. Dress in quality clothes. Be well dressed from head to your toes. Like me. When I attended any speeches or storytelling contests, I always dress well. Dress well to impress and show respect. Dress your best and we feel confident and comfortable. Next, you must communicate clearly. Choose words or phrases carefully. Replace difficult to hear words with simpler ones. Respond thoughtfully to each question. Respond steadily with total honesty. Conversational skills necessary for successful career growth and pleasant interaction with other people. Therefore, it is important that you improve your conversational skills. Be sure you make eye contact. Let's say that the eyes are windows to the soul. Giving a speech or presentation without eye contact is like eating a meal without utensils. It can be done, but not politely or effectively. Try to relax and breathe naturally. Smile, show interest and be enthusiastic. Mind your body language. Stand up straight with good posture. You must stand up as wide as your shoulders. In addition, have a positive attitude. Be confident of your ability. Be optimistic about your future potential. Share your knowledge. Knowledge is a valuable resource and can make anyone look more attractive. Be willing to teach others what you know. This will not only help them, it will demonstrate your abilities at the same time. Be humble and as modest as you can. Keep trying to improve. Keep trying to get better. Always give 100%. You'll win respect. You'll win trust and acceptance. Selling yourself is all about showing others who you are. The advice is to present yourself in the best possible light. Thank you for listening. That's all my speech.
Dear teachers and fellow students, a pleasant day to all of you. I'm number 30. Most of us don't like school, right? Me either. When I was small, I used to cry when I heard the word school. But now, it's totally different. I love school. Do you know why? Because Mom told me a little secret before. She told me that school is a playground. A playground? How can the chairs be like swings, and the tables be like seesaw, and books like slides? I never believed her. But now, being a 6th grader, I know what Mom meant. Let me share with you the fun of school, how I started looking at my subjects. In Chinese class, we learn about those Chinese characters and some beautiful poems. Chinese characters are difficult because you have to recognize each of them. It's not like English wherein you start reading the words with phonics. Chinese class felt like taking out the steps up the slide. It's not that easy. But with courage and understanding, you take each step at a time. Soon, you recognize a lot of Chinese words and you can memorize Chinese poems. I compare math class with playing tag. Picturing friends makes math more fun. The more people I catch, the faster I learn to add. Soon, my math ability has improved.
and I can solve more difficult problems. Music class feels like sitting on the seesaw. The musical notes go up and down. Sometimes you sing high and sometimes low. Just be calm and you can hear the beauty of the songs. Of course, English class. I have always loved learning English, but I still want to compare it with the playground item to make it more fun. Let's see. Swing! Up, up, and away. I realized that the more relaxed I was, the higher I went. So is English. The more relaxed I was, the faster I learned English words. Lastly, a typical day always ends with a happy feeling. It's like going up the slide, reaching the top, and shoo! Going all the way down. Do you know that kind of great feeling? Mom's little secret has helped me until now. I know if I keep on having this kind of attitude, learning becomes easier. School is indeed a playground. Let me challenge you. Are you ready to play and learn? Thank you very much.
Hello, honorable judges and dear contestants. I'm number 31. The topic that I'm going to talk about is my achievements and goals. I am standing here now, eager to say I have saved the stock market and solved the unemployment problem. Yes, I can. Yes, I do. Yes, I have achieved it. So if you may ask, hey, are you running for a mayoral election at the final of the year? Perhaps you're preparing for the 2012 presidential election, aren't you? Of course not. Instead, I do have some meaty stories and goals that I would like to share with all of you. When I was little, I wasn't quite the same as the other children in my same age. I haven't been able to talk until I was 3. Someone told my mom that I may have some learning difficulties. Nevertheless, my mom didn't give up on teaching me patiently. She even attempted to teach me counting, reading, and even a 300-tongue poem. Poor me. Those seemed like rocket science to me. They were such a nightmare. I couldn't even memorize a single word. My mom got frustrated and I was totally depressed. Suddenly, my savior appeared. My wise dad said, let's face the reality. Ignorance is bliss. Just raise him as a pet. He'll bring us so much joy. Phew, what a relief. I thought, at that time, without Mom's false hope, I can have life and not doing much but playing around and grow fat. However, a miracle happened then. I have a brother who is a smart cookie. One day, while I was playing around, as usual, he was reciting words like, build me a son, O Lord. During the pause, I continued a sentence and said, who will be strong enough to know when he is weak. Mom asked in great surprise, how did you know that? Mom's eyes were flooded with tears. She realized that I knew the words while listening to a verse reciting when I was playing around. Moreover, she was actually thinking of a statement, when God closes the door, somewhere he opens a window. Since then, Mom realized that I'm more talented in English than in Mandarin. She started preparing some fun novels, videos, cassettes, and CDs that were in English. Subtitles and audio were often set to English ones while I was watching movies and ball games. I absorbed those English expressions from many interesting sources. I had really enjoyed it. Nevertheless, all good things must come to an end and has to repeat itself. I went to elementary school. I had difficulties in Mandarin, math, etc. Thank God that are some nice teachers. They always explained things to me in detail as I was a 5-year-old. I've been making progress since then. Procuring English builds confidence in me. Therefore, I hope that I also procure math, Mandarin, etc. I'll try my best. every dog has a day. I sincerely hope that one day that I can say, yes I can, yes I do, yes, I had achieved it to my goals. Therefore, wish me luck. Thanks for listening.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm number 32. Today, I would like to talk about what I like to do the most. When I was younger, my grandpa used to take me to the park near our house. We would take a walk first, and then he would point at all the beautiful things we saw there. He started telling me what they were. I learned about tall green banyan tree, some little pink flowers, and some cute colorful birds. I also had lots of fun on the slides, swings, jungle gyms, and the seesaws. Little by little, I found out what I like to do the most. What I like to do the most is to look for insects with Grandpa. I used to spend lots of time with Grandpa at the park looking for insects and looking at them. We could always find something new every time we went to the park. There were some beetles and ants, butterfly and the bees, cicada and the cricket, grasshopper and the ladybugs, and many more. I always asked Grandpa to let me take them home. We would put them in my little box and carry them home, without not even knowing anything. But one time, Grandpa and I found a really cool green and black hairy caterpillar. I got so excited that I showed it to Mom. Of course, Mom got so scared that she asked me to throw it away. I told her that the yucky-looking caterpillar would soon turn to a beautiful butterfly, but she said no again. She said I could choose. She said, now as I have grown older, I have more homework to do and more things to learn, so I don't have time to go to the park as often as before. Although Grandpa and I still have walks in the park, but we don't have time to look at as many kinds of insects as we did before. I really miss the wonderful time Grandpa and I had there. Luckily, Grandpa bought me lots of books about insects, and now I can look at them anywhere at any time. And most importantly, without scary Mom. I really like to look at insects and talk about them with Grandpa. I don't know why I like insects so much. Maybe it is because something I read in a book. It is about rhinoceros beetles. Rhinoceros beetles are really famous because they are the strongest animals in the world. They can lift 850 times their own weight, while an elephant only can lift a quarter their own weight. I was so surprised about it. That's when my first English teacher asked me to choose an English name. I decided to call myself Rhinoceros Beetle, but Mom wouldn't let me choose the name. She compromised a little bit. She said I could choose another name for myself. She thinks this name is so long to write, so I chose another name. But no matter what my name is, I'm just the little boy who is crazy about insects. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 33. Today, my topic is my near-journey experience. My near-journey experience. Everyone has had something special happen in their life. I have one too. It was my near-journey experience. I nearly drowned once. Last summer, my parents took my cousin and me to the beach. We were looking for a little fun in the sun and took a break from our hectic schedule and cramped schools. In the glaring sunlight, We cut crabs, picked shells, built sandcastles, and swam there. From the distance, I saw the sunlight dancing on the waves. I could clearly see some little fish chase each other under the water. I tried to catch one, but lost it. It swam away. The water was so shallow that I felt I could reach the bottom. I could not wait to dive into the water. We were very excited when picking some oysters. We had fun, we had sun, we had seasons in the sun. Oh, what a beautiful day! I was so relaxed that I failed to notice a big wave and I fell. The waves were like a tornado and I was sucked down into the whirlpool. I screamed out loudly, "Help! Help me!" But the water kept surging into my mouth and my voice sounded just like Dory in Finding Nemo. Help! Help me! I tried to catch anything I could reach but failed. At that very moment, a siren seemed to sing to me. Spring has arrived, spring has arrived. Where has it arrived? Arrives in the ocean, arrives in the seashore, arrives in my kingdom. My body was surrounded by her enchanting voice, and I felt so peaceful. I was allured to the deeper sea. Suddenly, a hand grabbed me and pulled me out of water. It was Mom dragging me up. Tears were emerging in her eyes. I could not stop coughing, and Mom patted me on my back trying to soothe me. I was shivering all over, from cold or fear. I wasn't sure. I was so ashamed that I didn't listen to Mom's advice and stay away from the deep water. It is said that every year there are more than 500 people who died of drowning. I'm very lucky that I was not one of them. Although I could still hear sirens singing in the far distance. But Mom's loving arms were like a massive wall embracing me safely. And I'm not afraid of the tune anymore. That's the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 34. Today, my topic is my unforgettable trip. My unforgettable trip. This summer vacation, I went to Korea with my family because a lot of people say that I look like a Korean before. The funny thing really happened. When I was in the airport, the police asked me to go to the local people line. And I said, no, I'm Taiwanese. Then lots of people laughed at me. I was so embarrassed. The first day morning, I went to the Everland amusement park to play some exciting facilities. For example, bumper car, roller coaster, merry-go-round, coffee cup, and pirate boat. Then I took the train and gondola to make a tour around the whole park. In the afternoon, I went to a big indoor ski resort. I have never skied before, so I was nervous and excited. I fell down many times, but I still tried again and again. Finally, my skills of skiing got improved. We visited a cultural village on the second day. The master told us how to make kimchi. That was my favorite part of this trip. We also wore beautiful traditional Korean clothing to take a photo. During this trip, we ate several exotic Korean food, such as bibimbap, a dish that mixes with rice, egg, kimchi, beef, and vegetables, which are put in a stone bowl. The last day, we saw a special cooking show. The actors and actresses used knives, spoons, bowls, pots, pans, and dishes to juggle. While they were playing with food, they made colorful and delicious dishes. That show is really interesting. I enjoy this trip very much. So I hope one day I can go to Korea again. Thank you for the listening.
Hello everyone, I'm number 35. Today my topic is Fun Fridays. Fun Fridays. I'm always happy on Fridays because there are a lot of interesting classes on Fridays and I won't have to go to math class in the evening. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. First, I brush my teeth and comb my hair. Then I change my clothes. After that, I eat a large breakfast. Next, I take the bus to school with my sister. It usually takes us about 20 minutes to get to school, so we are sometimes late to school. My first class on Friday mornings is science. Although my science teacher is very mean, but I still like it because it's very interesting and fun. After science class, I go to art class. I draw very well, so I always come on the first in my art competitions. The third class on Friday mornings is PE class. We usually have PE class in the gym. My PE teacher is tall and strong. He teaches us how to play lots of different sports. My favorite sport is basketball. I don't shoot basketball very accurately, but I still like it. My last class in the morning is math class. I think that math is very hard, but my teacher teaches us very patiently, so I don't hate math. At noon, I eat lunch at school with my classmates. My lunch is delicious. My lunch usually have some meat, some seafood, and some vegetables. Sometimes my mother prepares a lot of fruit and milk for me. When I finish my lunch, I take the math at school. We usually sleep for about 1 hour each time. In the afternoon, my classes are relaxing. My first class in the afternoon is English class. I love English class a lot because my teacher is very nice to me and I speak English very well. My second class on Friday afternoon is Mandarin Chinese. It's not as fun as English class because I always get a bad grade in Chinese tests. My last class in Friday evening is calligraphy class. My calligraphy teacher is an old woman, but she writes calligraphy very well, so I like it much too. Finally, it's time to go home. My classmates and I were happy to go home. We are sure we'll have a great weekend. So I love Fridays. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I am number 36. Today, I would like to share with you a story called Room on the Broom. It's about a nice witch who met new friends on the journey and turned out to be a very exciting adventure. The witch had a cat and a very tall hat. They sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. When the wind blew so wildly, it blew off her hat. "Down!" cried the witch. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then there bounded the dog with the hat in his jaws. He sang, "I am a dog, as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me?" "Yes," cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The witch held onto her hat, but away flew the bow from her hair. "Down!" cried the witch. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then there flapped a bird with a bow in her beak. She sang, "I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me?" "Yes," cried the witch, and the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds
seas and the rivers they flew. The witch clutched her bow, but let go overwhelmed. Down, cried the witch. They searched for the one, but no one could be found. Then there leapt a frog with a dripping wet one. He sang, I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the dog and the cat and the frog. Down they went, tumbling into a bog. The witch's hot broomstick flew into a cloud, and she heard a roar that was scary and loud. I am a dragon, as mean as can be, and I'm planning to have witch for my tea. Oh no, cried the witch. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help! Help! She looked all around, but no help could be found. Suddenly, from out the ditch, rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, sticky, and furred with 4 heads and wings like a bird. With its terrible voice, it was yowling and growling as it struck from the ditch. Buzz off! That's my witch! The dragon drew back and started to shake. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's naturally I meant to, but now I must fly. Then down jumped the frog and the cat and the dog. The witch cried, thank you, oh thank you! Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside. Then they filled up the cauldron, and she muttered a spell. Ziggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! Then out rose a truly magnificent broom! Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. I'm number 37. Today, I'm going to tell how Brazilian Bill Scholar Goldr's coat. Long, long ago, in Brazil, beetles had plain, brown coats. But today, their hairstyles coats are gorgeous. They are so colorful that people often send them in pins or necklaces like precious stones. This is how it happened that Brazilian Bill Scholar new coats. One day, a little brown beetle was crawling along the wall. Suddenly, a big gray rat darted all over a hole in the wall. When he saw the beetle, he began to make fun of her. Is that as fast as you can go? What a poke you are! You are never late anywhere, just watch how fast I can run. The rat dashed to the end of the wall, turned around and ran back to the beetle. The beetle was still slowly crawling along. She had barely crawling past the spot where the rat left her. I'll bet you wish you could run like that, bragged the gray rat. You certainly are a fast runner, replied Beetle, even though the rat went on and on about himself. The beetle never said a word about things she could do. She just kept slowly crawling along the wall, wishing the rat would go away. A green and cow parrot in the mango tree above had overheard their conversation. She said to the rat, how would you like to race with the beetle? Just to make the race exciting, I'll offer bright colored coats as a reward. The winner may choose any colored coats and I'll have it made to order. The parrot told them the village would be a palm tree at the top of the hill. When she gave a signal to start, and they were off. The rat ran as fast as he could. When he reached the palm tree, he could hardly believe his eyes. There was a beetle sitting beside a parrot. The rat asked, how did you ever manage to run fast enough to get her so soon? Nobody ever said anything about having to run to win the race, replied Beetle as she drew her tiny wings from her sides. So I flew instead. I didn't know you could fly,
saw a rat with a grumpy look on his face. The parrot said to the rat, "You have lost the contest. From now on, you must never judge anyone by looks alone. You never can tell when or where you may find feelings." Then the parrot turned to the grumpy dog and asked, "What color coat would you like to be?" "I'd like it to be green and gold, just like yours," replied Beetle. And since that day, Brazilian beetles have had gorgeous coats of green and gold. But red still wears a plain, dull, gray, black. Thank you for listening.
3分21秒。